Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
This is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Happy New Year. Very, very cold this New Year. I was just telling our guest that I slept in my clothes the other night. I was so cold. We have heat, but it just goes right through you. Welcome, Kristin Stashenko.
Yes, that's
and
correct.
Kristin is a wonderful artist. You do, is it oils or watercolor?
Well, I do a combination of things. The paintings under glass are gouache, which is an opaque watercolor, and the ones on canvas are acrylic.
And I met Kristin at the Holliston, what's the
Open Studios.
Open Studios in
Yeah.
Holliston. And I think the first thing that took my eye was your beautiful work doing horses. And I know
One of my favorite subjects.
Oh, I have a couple of friends who love horses, and I have recommended you to one of them. I'm going to have to try and recommend you to the other one.
Oh, yes,
But this
please.
is their passion.
Oh, yeah.
And when I saw them, and they look so, hold up one of them, Kristin. This is just, she's terrific at this. Can you zero in this, Paul? This is the thing that caught my eye first. Wait till you see the others. But this is what got my eye the first time. When did you paint that one?
This was in 2017, not that long ago, a couple months ago. Yeah.
And how long does it take you to paint it?
Oh, people ask that all the time. It's a process,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Hard to say. It's hard to put an hour count on them.
Can you get that, or you got that zero in on there? Absolutely beautiful. Did you do it by watching the horses or by memory?
No, I usually use photo references, so I tend to have. I used to always carry a camera. Now that iPhones are so good, that's actually quite good. And when I love horses, I ride myself.
Yeah, but you have your own.
I don't have my own. We used to, but I just ride like maybe once or twice a week in the nice weather.
How long have you been riding horses?
Actually, I started as a kid,
Yeah.
but, sort of on and off over the years. I had a hiatus there when I had my own children. And
You
then my
had to-
daughter was a rider. So,
Do they still ride?
she doesn't ride at the moment. She's in San Francisco with a baby, and so...
Oh, hi, Grandma.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, exactly.
How old is your grandchild?
He had just turned 6 months today.
Happy birthday. Now, how old were you when you started getting interested in painting?
Well,
Or when you were a kid, or?
As a kid, and one of the first things I used to draw was horses. Loved horses, so I would I'd sketch them, and usually in pencil or colored pencil was a big favorite of mine when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But when it was time to go to college, it's like my parents were like, no, you need to do something other than that. So my first career was in biology. So I have a
Biology?
I have a degree in
Where'd
biology
you
and
go?
a master's, UMass for my
Amherst?
undergrad.
Biology
Yeah.
and
then I have a master's in molecular biology from Northeastern.
yet all the artsy was inside of you.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do any art there at college?
I really wasn't doing that much then. It just sort of really started coming out again when I had my children.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had a hankering to go to art school. My husband was like, oh, go for it. So put together a portfolio and went to Mass College of Art. And it was awesome.
Did you ever visit RISD down in Rhode Island?
Yeah. But
Rhode Island School of Art. Yeah.
Art and design, yeah.
I had a really good friend who went there.
Yeah.
She did something with, she would, I don't know how, she showed me and I still don't get it, glass work where she would have the design, she would bake it or do something. The glass design was inside the glass.
Not like stained glass, or no?
No, and she was selling on Newbury Street
yeah.
in Boston.
Oh, that's nice.
It was way over my head.
Yeah.
And she was doing very well.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I prefer, my first love is colored pencils and markers.
Because there's a lot of control.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking some classes in that.
Oh, awesome.
The colored pencils, just to kind of hone my skill. I haven't learned how to blend everything I could.
Yeah.
So I want this lady to show me all about that.
Okay.
Now, we've got a lot of other. We just showed you the horse picture. What's that one beside you, Kristin?
So this is a portrait that I did. It's actually a friend of mine, and it was just in a show in Boston. It was the Copley Masters series of portraits. So it was like quite happy to get into this show.
Do you know who was?
Oh yeah, this was my friend Anya.
Oh, and she was in the tennis.
Yeah, it was a white dress. It probably looks a little bit like tennis, but we were down the Cape, and I blotted out all the background because I kind of wanted that feeling of like the contrast of the the blues with the white.
Does she have a copy? I mean, for her?
No, she doesn't. I know. I've thought about know. I might gift it to her someday.
Beautiful. You know, it reminded me of Jackie Kennedy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Now that's
acrylic.
That's acrylic.
Yeah. But I need to tell you one way that I got started in art after I graduated from art school. I worked for greeting card companies for years, and that's when my kids were small, so I could work out of the house. I used to do 4 or 5 assignments a week, and made quite a nice living doing that. I did it for maybe 10, 12 years, and it gets tiresome because, you know, the cutesy little designs, you're under an art director who's very specific about what they want, you know, kind of was stifling my creativity a bit, but getting paid was really nice too.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yes.
That must have helped a lot.
Yeah, and I used to get royalties on my design, so that like at the end of the year I'd get these royalty checks, and it's like, ooh, it was great.
You know, in your children's school, did the art teachers like want you to come in?
And I did. Yeah, I definitely did that. I would teach little classes and various things like that. Yeah.
Kristin, how can people reach you? Well, before we forget, right in the beginning here, how can they reach you?
Well, I do have a website, which would be so you could see more of my work. So that would be Kristin Stashenko .com, and my Gmail is kstashenko at gmail.com, and I do have a phone number too, which I'm happy for because I do commissions. So that's 508-932-7867.
Spell your last name, Kristin.
Okay, yeah. Spelling Stashenko.
It is beautiful. Is it Russian?
It's Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
My husband's, yeah.
Okay, very pretty.
Yeah.
At first, I wanted to make sure that I spelled it correctly
Yes.
because that would be royal to mix it up. I'm going to tell you, that would be
And believe
amazing.
me, there are not many Stashenkos in the United
No.
States, actually.
Was he from the UK?
His grandparents came over.
They migrated over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, do you do any presentations other than what you just mentioned? I think you just did one in Boston.
I just had a show on Newbury Street, a solo show at the Copley Society, and that it's actually just came down, so that was up for 3 months, and that went very well. They also brought some paintings to the Fidelity Bank in Boston, so I got like a wonderful feedback, sold several pieces, and I actually made some contacts for a commission, and also for I'm working with a designer who wants some of my paintings.
You are very lucky because, you know, my husband and I both noticed that in the art world, it seems like it's getting harder and harder for artists to sell their work.
Yeah, then I think that is true, absolutely.
Is it the price? Because if that, then it needs to come down.
Yeah. I mean, it could partly be the price. It could partly be that how people feel about artwork. I think some people are perfectly happy to, go into a Crate and Barrel or a store like that, a home goods store, and buy a print that's framed, that is large and costs maybe $100. So for me as an artist, I love collecting other people's work as well. To me, I don't have anything that is not original in my house anymore. It just feels like you get to that point and you want the real thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know that my husband used to belong to a gallery in Westboro, and it was a co-op. It was there for quite a while, but it went under because it just wasn't paying enough. I mean, they had to pay the rent. They had to do, and also location.
Oh yeah, definitely.
People could zoom right by that thing.
Yeah.
And it used to drive me nuts, but I'm thinking, all this art, and who's going to notice?
Yeah. No, that's true. And when you think about it, there's probably a small percentage of the population even fall into the art buying public. You have to have a certain amount of, disposable income, and that obviously can always be an issue. And again, whether people find value in having an original piece of art.
Now, when I met you, you were over in Holliston, and tell us about the studio there in Holliston.
Yeah, it was an old mill building. I think it was a shoe factory.
Yeah.
And they renovated it, and we all have, it's a bunch of artists. There are the other businesses as well. I think there's 22 artists in the building. And it's kind of fun because there's a group of people that are there painting at the same time, so there's a sense of camaraderie. And
everyone's different.
Yeah, all very different there, actually. More so even than the last studio I was in. I feel like there's a lot of different types of...
Yeah, you were up in Framingham.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And that's since closed. Fountain Street.
Fountain Street Studios, yeah.
I remember we would go just about every year, once a year to see it, or twice.
Yeah, because they did have it.
Oh, you walk up, 4 Fountain flights. I wouldn't get in that old rickety elevator for the world. But I noticed what you said is true. I mean, I think more in Holliston there's more variety. I noticed at Framingham that I would see, I'd go down the hall and I'd see almost the same thing as I saw back in the beginning by somebody different.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's not the case. You, as an artist, you want to be, you
Yeah.
want to stand out.
Yeah.
I just think that we had a lot of painters, but I'd say in terms of style, quite different. I think my style was quite different than a lot of the person next to me. She did like a very very extremely colorful, abstract.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Yeah,
I'm abstract. Yeah.
So we had a lot. I think everybody has their own style.
That's why it was cool because
Yeah.
she was near you, and you two are so different. So that I could get there, feel yours, and I could feel hers on two different levels. And when I saw Kristin's horses, I'm like, wow. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been into horses. I've taken more of an interest since I met these two friends of mine. I'd like to ride them more than anything.
Yeah, I think everybody has an affinity for horses, even if you don't, don't have any association with them. I think people they're beautiful. There's something about them that is powerful in a way that you can just appreciate that. And I love painting them, and I think since I've known horses all my life, I think I have a special connection and understand their personalities and their anatomy, because I've seen many people who don't know horses well enough, and you go, that's just not right. The eye picks it up. It's like that anatomy is not right, that leg is not working right. And
that picture you did is like the two together. It's a warm, happy feeling looking at it.
Yeah.
I know over in Grafton, I learned something. They have a boarding place, a big thing for horses. And there was the most adorable, she's still there, she's a mini horse, not a pony, a mini horse, and I still love her. But I learned that she has one hell of a personality.
They do. They all do. Yeah.
She doesn't get along well with others, and yet she's the one that I thought was, she looks so cute and looks like a big basset hound.
She's got the alpha personality, right?
But she doesn't look it. She's always grazing quietly.
Yeah.
But I thought she's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Now, let's look at some of the other pictures that Kristin has done. Can you zero in on which one you want to zero in on, Paul? This one right here?
Yeah,
okay.
this actually
this
just came back. This was hanging at an international exhibit in San Diego, and this is like the artists that are in this exhibit are some of artists that I have been following for years and years.
Yeah.
So they are
Yeah.
an elite group of artists. So it was very good to get into this show. It was.
That looks like Paris, France.
Believe it or not, that's Boston Public Library.
Really?
Our very
Boston.
own. Yes, it is. And I'm always attracted to the reflections of things, whether it be glass or mirrors.
Yeah.
So that's a common theme in some of my paintings.
I like your style because you don't get overwhelmed in details.
Yeah, I try to break it down to the simplicity of without losing the feeling.
You got the feel. You're actually definitely a feeling artist. Now, what's this one? Is that Grand Central Station?
That is Grand Central Station, and it was something I just painted that, I think.
The big
it was just
one,
about a year ago, I think.
Yeah.
And we come into Grand Central Station because my son lives in Manhattan, so oftentimes we take the commuter rail that goes down there.
Sure.
And it's always amazing to me. You get out there and it's like, wow, it's just such an amazing building, and with the way the sun comes in and the shadows. So it was.
Were you sitting there doing that?
I took a bunch of pictures,
Because imagine all the sales you would make if you sat. Would they allow you to?
You probably could, but it's really hard to paint in a situation where, number one, it's crowded, and number two, the paints and the setup that I need. It would be hard to paint.
Is that acrylic?
It is acrylic. Yeah.
It's okay. What's your favorite medium?
Yeah, they both have they have different things. I think I'm been more into acrylic lately because I love the freedom of it.
Yeah.
If you notice, my gouache pieces tend to be a little bit more architecturally accurate. In these pictures, this as well, and even this.
No, this just says it. You feel it.
Yeah,
and I can go. Shadows are great.
I can go directly to paint on these. I do not use any underdrawing. I just go right in and start painting.
And Kristin does magnificent. The shadow of the people walking along.
Yeah.
Some artists won't catch that. You did.
Yeah.
It's perfectly done. And the shadows, actually, the reflection again, you're great at
Yeah.
reflection.
I love. I think my paintings are often about light.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the way that light reflects on things, and
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
very attracted to that. Yeah.
In your home, do you have like a studio, or do you stay to the studio in Holliston?
You know, I used to paint in a studio. You know, just my fourth
Yeah.
bedroom, but it just got. I can't paint it all at home anymore.
Yeah.
I need to be out in the. It's like going to work.
Yeah, it gets kind of crowded.
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
does.
yeah.
What does your hubby think of all your work?
Oh, he's very supportive.
Is he?
Yeah, he was. You know, I wouldn't have been able to go to art school if it weren't for him because he
No.
paid for it.
That's been a Christmas gift for me to go to the, the pencils class.
Yeah.
At first I thought, well, it's kind of expensive. But then we thought about it. It's only it's like 4 classes for $20 each. I thought, no, that's pretty fair. I have to get the the special pencils, which would add up to about $15. Okay. But there's a place in Westboro. It's called was it the Art Emporium?
I don't even know this. I usually
Yeah.
order online.
Framingham? No. It's Westboro, and you can get framed there. You can
yeah.
get all kinds of
Yeah.
supplies. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Michael's, but you can't get these there.
No. I mean, I order most of mine online. Actually, Dick Blick is where I get more. And when they're having a sale, like when they're having their canvas sale, then I.
You
stock
like
up.
ordering online then? I've
It's
gotta
just
get used to
easier.
this.
Well, they deliver it right to my studio. So if I'm ordering up, 10 canvases and quite a few paints and paintbrushes, it's a lot easier than taking.
We're
it.
talking with Kristin Stashenko, and she's a marvelous artist. I met her over at the Holliston, the studio over in Holliston. If people want to visit your studio, can they?
Oh yeah, it's open to the public. Absolutely.
Tell them again how they can reach you.
Yeah. Probably my phone number might be the best bet, which is 508-932-7867, or my Gmail, which is kstashenko@gmail.com.
And you do portraits of people.
I do portraits of people. I do I just finished a gorgeous horse portrait for a client, and they loved it. And now I actually have several other people calling me, so it's all good.
One
Yeah.
person leads to another.
Yes.
It's like when I help authors get out there
Yeah.
and get out there and get seen and noticed. You may not sell one book that day, but
you-
make sure you
yeah.
network with the
Yep.
other people.
Absolutely.
Because they may know someone who wants to get you on board.
Yeah, no, that's so
You know,
true.
don't go like this. Say,
Yeah.
nope, I'm going to make lemonade out of a lemon.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
never lemons. Anything you do is always, you never know what's going to happen down the road.
You
Absolutely.
don't. Do you ever go to like huge art fairs?
I stay away from things like that. I don't know. I find them a hassle anyways. I'd rather have people come to me. And I think I've gotten to that point in my career where it works that way for me. So it's
How do you
okay.
how do you keep your day so that you can actually have some time for yourself, Kristin?
Yeah, my hours are flexible. So I go to the studio, I probably paint with brush in hand for 5-6 hours. But there's a background to that too. There's taking pictures, there's, thinking about
Right.
what I want to paint. I spent a lot of time thinking about it and kind of brainstorming and, a sketch here or there, or just going out and say, I want to do something like this, so I'm going to photo shoot, whether it's horses or
Sure.
whether it's architecture or, whatever it is I've got a desire to do.
When you're driving around the car or whatever, you keep your handheld with you, right?
Oh, and I've probably done things I shouldn't do, like, I'm driving. It's like, I did this one painting. I was coming home from my husband's work. He worked in Cambridge, and along Memorial Drive there, and it was, the sun was setting. It was really the taillights of the car,
Yeah.
and it was just gorgeous, the silhouetted buildings and the cars, and so I'm there snapping pictures as I'm in this huge line of traffic.
Oh.
But I did a couple of great paintings out of that sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
There's so much around. Do you prefer nature or buildings or people?
I just love it all. I really...
And the horses, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I am definitely drawn to architecture, probably more than the natural world, and then horses.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. We
Yeah.
have a couple cats.
Yeah.
What if somebody out there had dogs and cats and they wanted to have you?
I love painting animals. I think I have an affinity for animals. I have a dog myself, and...
What kind?
Oh, she's a mutt, a rescue,
Oh,
a
they're mutt.
lab rescue.
Oh.
Yeah, a combo.
They're good.
Yeah.
Mutts are really
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Now, in your studio, where you are in Holliston, how many people in that building?
Well, it's got a lot of businesses as well. I think there are
Yeah.
22 artists, and we're sort of all on the same. I guess there's 2 floors that we're on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's quite a few other other things.
Yeah, I know.
there
And I
as
walked
well.
in through that side back entrance, and I saw a business there.
Yeah.
I thought, well, obviously he's not an artist.
Right.
Then I guess we went upstairs to see. But it's kind of fun because it's this funky old building.
Yeah.
What, shoe factory?
Yeah. It's a very cool building.
Yeah.
I like it, and it's been renovated, so we all have the windows are all brand new, and they're tight, and they keep the place warm, which was not true at Fountain Street.
No. When is the next big open to the public show?
At Holliston, we only have one a year, so it's in November.
Okay,
But-
that's the one we went to. Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, I'm always open to have people come and
Yeah.
wander through my studio. Is always I'm welcome.
They
that.
can come over
Sure.
and can they watch you paint too?
I don't mind if they for a little bit.
Yeah.
I've done some demos. I get a little nervous when people are peering over me, and I need to explain what I'm doing as I'm painting. I find that kind of challenging.
Are you teaching?
I have taught. I'm not teaching right at the moment because
Yeah.
I'm sort of loving just having all my time to paint.
I know, I can picture you teaching people, especially the people that I know who love horses. Not that they want to learn to paint,
Yeah.
but I think they'd be fascinated
And how to
how
get
you're
started.
doing it.
Yeah.
Not that they have the talent to do it, but
Yeah.
it's just that they love to see, let's say they place an order with you.
Yeah.
Like a friend of mine has 2 horses in
Yeah.
Upton. She places an order. She might want to come by once in a blue moon and say, wow, you know.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind that. I find it hard for people to watch me when I'm first getting started
Yeah.
because I need, it's there's some trial and error going
Sure,
on. It's
yeah.
like for instance, a piece like that. I might
The big one in
the big
Grand
one.
Central, yeah.
I might throw in some quick vertical lines
Sure.
to show,
I
where
understand
my
what you're
window's
doing.
going to be.
Somebody else may not understand.
Right.
I got you. Because,
I like to have it sort of
Yeah.
have my brain wrapped around it before I'm
It's
letting
like
people
if somebody isn't an
watch.
I understand it. It's like being abstract. It's like, I want to toss this here,
Yeah.
see how it blends. Then I have maybe no style set up.
Yeah.
It's how I'm going to feel as I go.
Yeah.
Who's that artist that threw Jackson Pollock?
Jackson Pollock,
Now
yeah.
I'm not Jackson Pollock,
Yeah.
but I mean I liked the idea that he just throws
yeah,
the paint,
yeah.
and and that man became a millionaire, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he did.
Let's show the horses again. Let's show your horse's picture right there.
I wish I brought some more horses because I have a lot of them.
Let me
Yeah.
see that. Oh, I just love that. Now they're local. Are they somebody's horses?
Yeah, they were. I live near a stable, and where I walk my dog. It's called Spring Valley, and it's on Pine Street in Medfield. So
Yeah.
I'm walking down there, and they came up to me, and they were just so I snapped a few pictures, and
Oh, I love it.
yeah.
So you got horse lovers out there. Here's your girl right
Yeah.
here. She can paint it for you. And can you, if somebody wanted you to come over and do it, come over to the stables and that.
Yeah, I would
Are
probably.
you pretty flexible about that?
Oh yeah, and I like to take my own pictures generally because I know what I'm looking for.
So you would
Yeah.
know, and you come over and then make an appointment,
Yeah.
come on over to, say, my house,
Yeah.
take a picture of the
Yeah.
horses and say, I'll let you know when
I
it's
usually
done.
do, a whole bunch of pictures.
And
'Cause I'm
use it-
looking,
let
I'm
them
looking
know.
for personality,
Yeah.
for that kind of
I
thing.
think a wonderful, we've passed Christmas, but what a wonderful holiday or birthday gift.
Yeah, and I've done a lot of them for that. Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I really. And are you thinking of opening up another, besides being where you are in Holliston, opening up something else?
No, I'm good because I have, it's my home base and I have shows. I have another show coming up, actually at New England Biolabs of all
Where is
places.
that?
It's North Shore. I think it's Beverly. I kind of forget. I actually have been there to see with the installation space, but I'm installing that on January 28th, and it's an interesting thing. The owner is apparently the president of the company is a real art aficionado, and he has 4 shows a year. So he has these 2 women that canvas the area looking for artists, and then they jury the process through the business. And I was selected so I'll be there for 3 months. And actually, they've had artists have done quite well selling there because they've asked the artists to come in.
Yeah.
They
They want to see it.
Yeah. So
I think a lot of artists forget that you don't have to just go to a gallery.
Yeah.
There are businesses that want you, lawyers, doctors. If you go into a hospital now, I go to UMass or
Yeah,
Milford.
yeah.
You see some amazing artwork up there.
Yeah.
People don't think that. They forget about the businesses. It could be anybody. It could be an engineering firm that wants it in their lobby.
Yeah. No, I've done things in restaurants and banks, and yeah.
Do you have any in your field? Looking in the vision, the future. What would be a real before we have to close? What would be something you're really looking forward to?
In terms of art, you mean?
What do you want to do? Are you going to go somewhere? Is there somewhere you want to be to exhibit?
Well, there's a show that I would really love to get into that is it's Basel in I think it's in France. I don't know. It's sort of like the premiere show in Switzerland. That's where it's
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
I can see you on Martha's Vineyard. Oh, wow.
Oh, well, I actually have shown on Martha's Vineyard.
but
Yeah, at Christina's Gallery, and there's a couple other spots I've shown there. So.
Christina's Gallery?
Yeah, and then I also I showed on the Cape in Wellfleet.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's called Blue Heron.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice gallery. And I show there it's seasonal, so it's from May till October.
You are doing very, very well. We've been talking with Kristin Stashenko, and she is a fantastic artist. She'll do your horses. She'll do you. She does, and you love geometric, the buildings, that type of thing. One more time, how can they reach you, Kristin?
Phone number would be 508-932-7867, and my Gmail is kstashenko, STASHENKO, @gmail.com.
Now, we got to have you back. Because I'm sure there's a lot more out there that you couldn't couldn't bring in.
Well, maybe next time I'll have to bring all horses.
That would be a lot of fun. It really would. Because,
sure.
like I say, this area, I have never lived anywhere where I've seen so many horses.
Yeah.
Really, because where I grew up in Wilbraham, the western part of the state, for some reason in that town, I'm sure there were, but I didn't see a lot of. Now out here in Grafton, Upton,
we have a whole lot of horses in Medfield.
Thank you for being on.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me.
And we'll stay warm.
Oh, I know, especially the next couple of days.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.
Okay, thank you.